It's been a while, right? I mean, it's 17 months at this point. So what's the feel right now to be back?
It's been 17 months?
I think so.
Wow. Time flies. How does it feel to be back? It feels absolutely amazing. Can't tell you how proud I am, how thankful I am to be back. It might sound strange, but the last year my family and I have been going through a lot of adversity. It actually started at my last fight. I broke my jaw early in the second round, had to push through the fight. Went back home, got surgery on it. That surgery got infected. I needed a second surgery. When I thought I was ready to go again, I tested positive for COVID. When I was over that, we got the very unfortunate news that my wife was diagnosed with MS disease, which actually led me to call the UFC and ask for a leave. I mean, I had to take my full focus and put it on the things that were going on with my wife and MS disease. And you would probably not believe it, but on top of that, our house had a serious water leak, which turned out to be a black mold infestation. So the last 8 months, my family and I have been relocated. I mean, talking about relocation means my stuff has been picked up over a process of 3 steps. So we actually have been living in a bag for the last 8 months. I can't stress how proud I am to be back, how grateful I am to be back, being able to go through what we as a family just went through the last year. I'm a 3-time Olympian, Olympic medalist, 5-time world medalist. I've been competing at the highest level of sport most of my life. Right now, coming into this fight, this feels single-handed as the greatest comeback of my entire athletic career. I'm proud, I'm happy, and I'm excited. 6 months ago, I had no idea how, that's important, or whether I would be able to return to MMA. We were in a place where we had to deal with disease. I mean, this is UFC. This is the biggest MMA promotion in the world. This is where the best fighters in the world are competing. We talk a lot about champion mindset, overcoming adversity and stuff, and I believe I know how to compete. I know how to overcome adversity. But honestly, facing disease, facing a chronic disease, the symptoms that my wife was facing, I had to dig deeper than I've done ever before. We as a family have had to reevaluate, prioritize, say no to a lot of exciting stuff that was going on in our life just to focus on the really essential stuff, family and fighting. And now I'm back and I'm proud.
It's crazy, man. I had no idea that you were going through so much. So, I mean, was there, you said 6 months ago you weren't sure whether you would fight again. I mean, was there conversation of like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore? How did that conversation go?
There's been absolutely no conversation of not returning to MMA. This fight, this opportunity is about proving to myself, more importantly, proving to my wife, that we won't let disease determine anything in our life. I mean, we have a chronic disease. My wife has a chronic disease that she has to deal with the rest of her life. That means I, as a husband, has to deal with that the rest of my life. One of her big fears with this diagnosis was that would actually lead to me not being able to fight anymore. That it would mean that we would not have the opportunities that we had. So this is actually about, proving that if we believe, if we dream, even though there's disease, we can still overcome and come after it. So this is about proving for my wife that anything is still possible.
Understandably emotional. I mean, when we talk about your wife, I mean, so I wonder, like, does this somehow make fighting like less important and just a small part of it, or does it make it even like more important? Like now this is some, platform, some opportunity. Where does fighting stand in your life now, knowing everything that you're dealing with outside?
I can't believe I'm sitting up here, supposed to be tough UFC fighter fighting this Saturday, and I get emotional talking about my wife. That's crazy, right? I mean, this is it's been a crazy period. I mean, it's been challenging, but at the same time, we've come out with new insight. As a family, we've bonded in a different way. I mean, we have to find, to put it another way, we have to find a way to make the last year the best thing that happened in our life. And right now I'm back. I have a fight. It's about going out there and then performing my best.
It feels secondary to talk about the matchup at this point. I mean, knowing everything to talk about, but is it exciting? A guy like Clay Guida who's been around forever, I mean, a veteran, I mean, is that exciting to go in there and test yourself, or do you even care about who's on the other side of the cage at this point?
I don't really know how to answer that, but imagine 6 months ago looking in a wall infested with black mold, knowing that you had a wife that you with MS that you had to help through this process. No real way back to MMA. Like standing in that position, that situation, and then being here right now, facing a legend of the sport, Clay Guida. It's a co-main event. I mean, I can't believe a lot of the things that happened on the journey that I've been on the last 3 years. This is really my third year of full focus on MMA, and I can't believe a lot of the things that happened the last 3 years, but this definitely is a step up. I mean, massive opportunity. Given everything I've, been going through, honestly, being back, having the opportunity right here, talking to you about a fight this Saturday, that's all that matters. Proud and grateful.
Very nice. Last thing for me, I mean, obviously, as you said, Olympian, champion, and I'm sure you came into MMA hoping to be a champion as well. But is that the goal now? What is the goal of the career? It seems like everything has changed now. So is it still about chasing championships, or is the point of the career something different now?
So from day one in MMA, I've tried to find the right setup. My ambitions in MMA are just the same as they were in wrestling. I want to be the best in the world, ultimately be the best version of myself. And I believe if I develop my potential to my fullest, I will be able to go out there and compete with the best MMA fighters in the world and beat the best MMA fighters in the world. Some of the struggles that I had to overcome moving from wrestling over to MMA is finding the right setup. I mean, I've been fortunate enough in a long career in wrestling to visit the United States, Olympic Training Center, Colorado. I've been in Iran, I've been in Japan. I've seen how the best wrestlers in the world train. I've seen the setup, the facilities, the coaches. And, having an ambition of becoming the best in the world, you need the best people around you. You need the best setup. You need a lot of things that will work out. And I've been searching, and this camp, I flew out to Scottsdale. I joined the Fight Ready team at the same gym as Triple C Henry Cejudo is working out at. And I've been absolutely amazed about the camp that they're running down there. I mean, I don't know how I ended up down there. I flew out to Vegas as soon as I got, which is a funny story, as soon as I got the offer of this fight. That was on a Wednesday. Thursday, I get a call from the UFC saying, you need to come to Vegas right now because your P1 visa expires. And my wife's actually telling me, well, go get it. So Sunday, same week, I fly out. I land in Vegas Sunday night. I have jet lag, 3 a.m. Eric, the captain, coach of Henry Cejudo, Patricio Pitbull, he calls me. He says, I just finished a big event here. Can I come over for coffee? 3:30, we have a morning meeting. Probably the earliest morning meeting I ever had. And he says, Mark, I think you should consider coming down to Scottsdale, look at Fight Ready, see what we have going on here. I think that would be a great fit. So I thought about that, and after a couple of days, I drove down, and what I really recognized down there is that, man, they're running championship camps I mean, I feel like I found a place, a home, a setup, people that can help me develop my maximum potential. And I do believe my maximum potential will get me to the top of this sport. But one thing at a time, and I gotta tell you, the last year, I'm so happy to be back. Right now, there's a fight this Saturday. My focus is on that fight. I'm happy that I joined the Fight Ready team. I got 6 weeks of an amazing camp in. I mean, the progression that I feel I've made down there. Absolutely great coaches, great team. Team leader Dave Solwine, amazing. An amazing part of Henry Cejudo's success and journey as well. And he's just been absolutely amazing to my family and I. And I think I found a good place to develop.
I'd like to get your thoughts. A lot of people look at Clay, you know, of course they see his crazy striking style, but he also has wrestling as well. You know, obviously some people might look at you and say, oh, well, I have Olympic wrestling, or this guy, the wrestling's going to be not even close. But what would you say, and how would you rate Clay Guida's wrestling skills?
I'm going to show you how good Clay wrestling is on Saturday. I think that's the best way I can describe it. I come from a Greco-Roman background, which is what I've done my entire life. And Clay has folk style, freestyle. I think one of the great things that Fight Ready really can offer is great freestyle, great folk style. I think Clay has good wrestling, no doubt about it. I mean, it's a legend of the sport. He's been in the sport for a long time. He dominated his last fight with wrestling. I mean, this is actually what it's all about. I'm a wrestler. I'm a high-level wrestler. I'm in the UFC to compete with the best in the world. I mean, I'm fighting Clay Guida, the carpenter. You know what I'm saying? This is about competing. It's about going out there and testing. I'm looking at putting on my best performance this Saturday. If I put on my best performance, I believe the best performance will beat Clay Guida. But I'm excited about going out there and actually learning how good Clay Guida's wrestling is.
And last one for me, I guess on the flip side of his wrestling, everybody thinks of some fights in the past where Clay just stands right in the middle and just throws nonstop, and he tries to lure his opponents into this rock'em sock'em sort of stand-up war. Is there any danger that you might get caught up in that sort of thing, or is there a part of you that says, I wonder if I got in that whirlwind, how I would do?
The only thing I can say is bring out the beer, bring out the popcorn, let's have a fight.
That's awesome. Best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.